I feel like you're breaking a lot of norms that were very normal culturally back maybe 20 years ago. You are someone who said, entrepreneurial ADD, you're jumping around to all these different things. I just remember my parents saying like, you need to have discipline. You need to stick with something. Like, I'm smiling thinking about this right now because those are the people that you think are going to be really successful, the doctors, the lawyers, the people, and you with the law school, you're going that direction. But you have this idea in your head that only the disciplined people or only the people that will have certain character traits are going to be successful. But you've taken this thing that some people could say is almost a weakness and you've spun it around. How are you able, and someone sitting at home here, how are they able to think about themselves, think about what they do, and find ways to capitalize on something that can be considered a weakness?
I think that's critical, right? I think we all have weaknesses and limitations, and that's what's going to hold you back. So running actually towards them, as opposed to away from them and trying to, I have this weakness. I gotta not show it to anybody. No,
I gotta accommodate for it. Okay,
exactly. No, put it in the sunlight and blow it up and turn it into your biggest strength. So you're right. I have entrepreneurial ADD. In high school, I used to jump around from internships and jobs, and I'd work at one place for 3 months and another place. And my mom used to say, Cindy, are you ever going to stay somewhere longer?
Yeah.
And the answer was, well, no, I'm learning. It's all interesting to me, but when I'm no longer interested in it, I'm either all in or I'm all out. And so I think it's a mixture of, I don't want to confuse entrepreneurial ADD and discipline, because I think those things are important.
I'm glad you made
having the discipline when you pick something for however long you're going to do it. If you're going to do it for 3 months, have the discipline to do it 100% for 3 months. It's not like I'm ever 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm all in, but the second I'm no longer all in, I'm all out. Mm-hmm. I'm never half in the pool. And that was understanding with my weakness of my entrepreneurial ADD. When I failed, it was because I was half in and half out. And I was like, well, I still want to make it successful, but I'm interested over here. And that's when those companies weren't successful. So I've only been successful when I've been all in on whatever it is I was doing. But the moment I'm no longer 100% focused, passionate, and excited about it, it's time for me to either sell it, shut it down, or call it a failure if it's going to be a failure, and move on.
And that's interesting. Gary Vee actually uses this term half pregnant that I think is hilarious.
I find it even with the coolest brands in the world, like NPR, a lot of companies have to go through the same old thing, and you get into what I call the half pregnant zone. And that's what I want to talk about. Do not get caught half pregnant. If you want to embrace the tools that are out there today, you've got to just go do it. There should be no excuses. You probably work in a company that has a lot of rules, lawyers. The bigger the company, the more red tape, slow moving, but you've just got to absolutely fight through. And whatever you can do to get into the space and interact with your community, that's what you need to do. Scott, do you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you like the sit down we did today?
I learned.
Was I amazing? Were you amazing?
You were amazing.
How about you?
I learned an awful lot from it, and I've learned not to be half pregnant. I didn't even know I was pregnant before. I didn't even know I was close to getting. You see?
Yeah, I was trying to get the profile.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think what Gary said is absolutely true. I mean, this is the new way we'll be, right? So why delay? Well, I mean, why put red tape? Why put anything in the way?
Because you know what happens, right? Go to the watch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you know what happens?
Just a matter of time until you're dead.
So often we're concerned about failure, but then we don't have the discipline to stay focused, and that's right there where we're going to have the failures that we're so afraid of.
Right.
So
and failure is also a perspective. I mean, so the truth is, I don't think I've ever failed. And the reason is, even the companies that aren't here today and didn't do what I wanted them to do, I learned from them. I mean, sorry if I'm a little cheesy with the quotes, but it's sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, but there is no really losing unless you learned nothing from it.
I have that doom yourself. Canvas in my office.
Do you really?
Yep.
Oh, then there you go.
I'm about that.
Exactly. As long as you learn from it and you can take whatever that experience gave you and use it to strengthen your next whatever, it was phenomenal for you. It's actually better than having some success that didn't allow you to get anything from it.
It's almost scary if you have success and you're successful in your very first thing. You have absolutely no calibration for what failure feels like. Right. So you come across a little bit of a challenge, and then you're incapacitated because it's like, oh my gosh, this has never happened to me before.